This is recording from Christina's. This is recording 725. As you know, this is my Speaking to the CIA podcast. All of my recordings besides the first 15 are titled Listen Next. And then it goes up from 001 to where I am now, which is 725. You can find me at ChristinaStacia918.com. Okay, also, I opened up a Twitter. I had a Twitter account open under Christina Stacia 918, but it doesn't work. So I opened it under my old email address, Christina Stacia 28. Jean Roberts keeps trying to claim my email address. I don't know what the hell fucking for. I'm about to turn her ass in again. She needs to stop stalking me and she needs to be arrested. Her terrorism and trafficking and her rackets need to end. So anyway, my name on there is Christina MS 1971. I don't have a lot of tweets on there, but it's a good start to get you going on a background of what's going on. And I have a way to directly tag, and I forgot I could do direct mentions. I have a way to directly tag intelligence, so that's good. So anyway, it's enough to get you started, get you going on background, and then you can go listen to my podcast. So let me get going on this. So Mexican Navy plane crashes off U.S. coast, killing 5. Mexico's Navy says the plane crashed in the waters off the U.S. state of Texas while carrying out a medical transfer. So according to the flight tracker website, Flight Radar, the plane took off from Mérida in Mexico's Yucatan state at 1846, which is 6:46, and was last recorded at 21:01, which is 9:01, over Galveston Bay along the coast of Texas near the Shoals Airport. So she's using a couple of different things here. I know you instantly know that she did this. She committed this crime because of the Meridian split, and because of the Yucatan Peninsula, where she has one of the hyperbaric chambers, one of the 4 of them. So anyway, and then Galveston Bay, and then you know that song, oh Galveston, so she's syruping the OH. Okay, so CL code on that. So more of what I want to point out here is she's making a reference to Dr. Scholl's. Okay, so when I lived in Loda, and the guy that I was dating for 5 years, the nightmare from hell for 5 years, okay, so he always went to a bar in Buckley. Okay, and it was called the Owl's Nest. Anyway, so he was saying one night, he was talking about Dr. Scholl's with the bartender. There was like a big stupid conversation going back and forth with the Dr. Scholl's. So she used the Dr. Scholl's in this, and then she said to me before this attack happened, she said, buckle up, in my brain. And she just said it again today to me in my brain. So anyway, she said that, and she was mad because I got to talk to my cousin Emily for a minute, my aunt Vicky's daughter. I don't know what Jean Roberts is up to, but she's either blocking me from talking to my family members, or she's lying to them, conniving them somehow. But I can't change that or fix that. I can't. So all I can do is turn Jean Roberts in. So anyway, oh, and also when she was in the middle of having that fit that I was talking to Emily, she keyed in the active IPs and mental telepathy of someone that's Middle Eastern, and she was trying to put on some kind of show. And so this is all in AI brain visuals. So I'm like in bed, I'm trying to go to sleep, and she's like basically like smashing my body in, trying to quickly talk about me. And she's got me painted in her red, white, and blue leotard that she stuck on her nasty little fucking kidnapping friend. Okay, so she's like got me, and I'm just like, I just ignore her. And then like when I get tired of it, I like wish my hand, wish her away. And she was quick talking to them, like real quick trying to talk to them. And she was like trying to point at me where they can see the AI visuals and they can see what her overlays are. And she's like quickly trying to convince them. And I can hear them in my brain, and they're going, Gene Roberts, you and your people are psychopaths. You're full of shit. Like, they were just telling him to get lost. They were saying, no, 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 no. Like, you guys are fucking deranged. So anyway, they told her to cut it out. They did say it's over, but that's Ackright cutting in saying it's over. Because he's always trying to elude with lies constantly. So anyway, then after that, Jean started throwing even more of a fit. I was asleep, and she wakes me up, and she's using AI voice modulation. And she starts talking in a drill sergeant or a drill instructor's voice, making threats at me. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait till this bitch is arrested. So anyway, another thing that goes to changing subjects, another thing that goes to her doing that Hard Rock Hotel casino explosion in New Orleans. The Hard Rock Hotel here in Tulsa is in Catoosa. It's next to a town called Inola. So you know what Gina's probably trying to do there. She wants to act like the big boys are just playing games back and forth. And it was just a revenge attack from Oklahoma, or a revenge attack from New Orleans, or whatever. And it's regarding the Oklahoma City bombing, and everybody's just playing around setting off explosives, is what Gene is trying to make it look like. So, because she's using the I as R-E. Okay, so anyway, she committed that explosion. So, and she did the Oklahoma City bombing. So, okay, so I want to go back to 1976 when I was 5 years old, and we lived on 11th or 12th Street, okay? I go through all of my toys. I go through everything in my childhood, okay? And I decode the heck out of it. So this is something else. So my little friend, I had a little friend that lived 2 or 3 houses up from me on the same street, okay? And her name was Megan, okay? And I used to go over to her house. Can you play? Can you play? Can you play? So I used to go over to her house, and we would play Holly Hobby. She had these Holly Hobby sewing cards. That's all I remember about her is her Holly Hobby sewing cards, and she had a canopy bed. One time I went over there, they said she was really sick, and then somehow it got in my head that she died. Anyway, so okay, so the Holly Hobby. Okay, Holly Hobby was really popular when I was little. So Holly Hobby goes to 2 or 3 different things. It goes to her using a surfing theme, Hobie Cat. Okay, so see all code there. It also goes to the blue swing in the backyard on my swing set. Holly Hobby wears a blue hat. She wears like a little house on the prairie. She's a little prairie girl. You can Google her. Google Holly Hobby and see what Holly Hobby looks like. She wears a blue hat. Okay, so Gene Roberts ice raped me and walked me into that swing, bashing in my teeth. So my head is bashing into the blue swing. So the Holly Hobby goes to the blue swing. okay, and the blue hat. It also goes to the picture that my mom had hanging in my room when I was a little girl, that I literally thought was me. I thought it was me on Rick's farm. And it's a picture of a little prairie girl with a little cameo on. And she's holding a chick. And she's dressed in like Victorian, but she's like country. It's like brown and white. And I thought it was me because she looked just like me when I was little. I thought it was me. So anyway, I had that picture all of my life. And I thought my grandma painted it. I thought my grandma gave it to me. I thought my grandma painted it. My grandma paints everything. But then I had a friend later on in life who just happened to have the same print. And she pulled it out and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you have this. And it was a print, but it said on the back of her print, it said somebody else's name. And I'm like, well, then my grandma didn't paint this, but how do you have this? And I don't like this. Like, I wanted to take it from her. I'm like, this is mine. Like, I really wanted to like take it from her. And it was when I was living in Illinois, and she's like, oh, I just love this picture. And and I was like that's the, like, I felt like she's pulled something from my childhood. And I was like thinking, that's mine. That's me. That's mine, is all I could think. Now I went on to decode that picture and the cameo on the little girl. And you know, I'm a Scorpio child. You know, Gene Roberts wants to sacrifice me. Or if you want to call me the NWO baby or whatever. So anyway, the cameo, she ice raped that into my mom's house. Either how my mom got it, either from my grandma or my mom got it. Or I don't know how my mom got it, but she ice raped my family members to get into my house, to hang it on my wall. It's just a precious picture that hung up in my bedroom all my life. So anyway, I decoded the picture, and it's linked to the cameo that's in the center of the picture in the Death to Pigs scene, where Jean wrote Death to Pigs on the wall when she did the Charles Manson murders. I decoded the hell out of all of it. I decoded Death to Pigs, which you already know that. That's like 2 or 3 pages to decode. I'm talking about decoding the girl with the necklace. I decoded more Charles Manson out of that. So I'm supposed to look back in time and be all creeped out. And be creeped out looking at this picture, something that I cherished and treasured. And I look back in time, and I'm supposed to say to myself that I was always going to be killed even before I was born. And look, it was even hanging on your wall. And even that, hanging on your wall, the writing is on the wall. And then what did she do when she did 9/11? Reading makes America great again. Behind George Bush on the classroom wall, she ice raped the entire classroom. I already told you that. She set the whole scene using ice. She ice raped the school. She made sure that sign was hanging on the chalkboard. I decoded the heck out of Reading makes America great again. I decoded the whole dang thing. It took like 2 or 3 pages, proving she did the World Trade Center attack. I was beside myself freaking out. So anyway, that goes to the Death to Pigs. And then, you know, where she wrote the anthrax notes. Gene Roberts is the one who wrote Death to Pigs on the wall. And Gene Roberts is also the one who wrote Death to America and God is Great and all of that, okay? That when she sent the anthrax. Okay, you can do the comparison of both the handwritings. Even though it's like a major time span apart, you can tell it's the same handwriting. Gene Roberts wrote both of those, and I decoded both of those. I decoded Death to Pigs by itself. I decoded the Death to America by itself. And then I realized those suckers go together. They cross-reduce. Then it cross-reduced them and decoded them even more. Jean Roberts, leader of Charles Manson. She is the leader of Charles Manson. She did the World Trade Center attack. So anyway, so this is hanging on my wall. So I'm supposed to look back and be haunted. So that's what that is. Okay, so anyway, so my dog, okay, my stepdad, Jeff, okay, his dog's name was Arrow. That was my mom and Jeff's dog, Arrow. Okay, so that was my first family dog, Arrow. All right, and so fast forward again to high school. And then, oh wait, no, before that, my mom's favorite candy in the entire world is Snickers. Okay, so then fast forward again to my high school years, okay, where I babysit the family that Jean loves to spread the lies about, and I turn Jean in for. I turn Jean in. So I don't know why she bothers spreading lies. She's so completely fucking screwed by their entire freaking family. And everything she fucking does, every lie she tells, and every fucking mention of anyone in their family's name, you know she's fucking screwed. So anyway, so they had a dog. Oh my God, and then she did that too. So they had a dog. Their mom got a dog, and it was a little teeny tiny dog. Like, it was so tiny, like it would fit into the palms of your hand. Like, it was so teeny tiny. And she named it Snicker. Okay. So one day I was over there, and I was in the rocker recliner, and Snicker got underneath, which is all ice rape. She ice raped me. She ice raped Snicker. Okay? And you can tell based on what I'm about to tell you. So, anyway, so when I rocked back and forth, I didn't know that Snicker was under there. And then it crushed Snicker's head. And Snicker died. And they were so freaking completely ballistic upset. And I was so upset. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then that also, so that goes to the blue swing where she's crashing me in, where she walks me in the swing and bashes in my teeth in 1976 when I was 5 years old. But it also goes to my little friend from grade school at East Globe Elementary. She ice raped one of my little friends in grade school, and she was doing a suicide drop or a penny drop. I don't know how. I decoded the heck out of all this. Okay, she was on the monkey bars, and she would do a suicide drop or penny drop, and she missed. And she was ice raped. Her name was Kirsten. And she fell, and she cracked her head open. So, anyway, I decoded, whoever's making me snort just now with my mouth, you gotta know you're a dead motherfucker. Anyway, so that goes to this. So it keeps going, okay? So if you combine Arrow and Snicker, okay, right in the center of it, right, and also keep in mind Alfred P. Murrah, what's in the center of Alfred P. Murrah? I decoded this also. She's got red rum in the middle of it. Okay. So, right in the center of Arrow and Snicker, she has WSNIC. What is that? Wisconsin. So, instantly I'm seeing that, and I'm going, I already know what she did because I already know what this goes to. She iced and did, I'm going to say she iced him and committed this crime with them. She was, just say she was involved with him, because they'll figure out the rest. She committed the crime. So they did it together or whatever. We'll break down because Gene will just tell freaking lies about you still because people still want to be up serial killer pedo's asshole and help her get away with freaking raping and selling fucking kids and committing terrorism. So anyway, this is what I'm trying to tell you is, okay, so I decoded this serial killer that was involved with her and Charles Manson in 1970, okay? His name was Jeffrey McDonald. So Gene Roberts committed that crime, okay? And Jeffrey McDonald. They both committed the crime. There was a rash of killings around that time, and I decoded a whole bunch of them, like Berkowitz. There's a whole bunch of them. She committed these crimes, okay? So instantly, when I see the WSNIC, what do you think I see instantly? Her freaking brother, another serial killer, Jeffrey Dahmer. He was from Wisconsin. Because there it is right there in the center. WSNIC. Okay, so also in this is Stevie Nicks. So she's using Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac in the SNIC. So you see Stevie Nicks. Now this isn't the first time I've decoded Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. And I've decoded them inside the Oklahoma City bombing. She used them. She used Christy McVie. I don't know how you use if I think her name is Christy McVie. She used Christy McVie's name and she intertwined it with Timothy McVeigh's name. Okay, so this is the first time I see her using Stevie Nicks. Now, she uses Stevie Nicks for everything else that she's told lies about, including stabbing me in another child abuse ring where I'm out with one of my friends out on the street on Emerald, and he's got a freaking butterfly knife or a switchblade knife. And she's got him iced and she's got me iced. And then he like jolted with the knife, trying to be like spooky. And then I jolted, and the next thing you know, I was freaking stabbed like a motherfucker. It was horrible. So anyway, I decoded all of that. She planned to stab me with the knife when I was in 5th grade. Going to Holy Angels. I decoded the whole thing out. She pre-planned to stab me all the way back then. No, it was 6th grade. No, it was 5th grade, and then 6th grade, there's more decode that goes into 6th grade. So it's 5th grade. Because there's a whole bunch of more terrorism that she plans. Every mark on my body, whether it's a freaking cut or a scar, or whether it's a birthmark, is all ciphers, is all Charles Manson demon ciphers I can decode, including her tearing up the birthmark on my right knee, the star. So anyway, so Stevie Nicks is in this, so she's using Stevie Nicks. So that's more evidence for Stephen Parent's family, one of the Charles Manson victims, one of the people that Gene Roberts murdered in the Charles Manson murders. It is, but I mean, you already know that Gene Roberts did this by now. You already know she did this. It's all for every Steve that Gene has been stalking. Gene loves her some Steves. She's a name collector. She's a serial killer. She collects people. So there's more evidence there. And then she's also using Nick as in Saint Nick, okay? She commits crime using the December 24th as the theme, and she uses Christmas as a theme, okay? It's a big thing with her. I didn't commit any fucking crime. You committed crime trying to control my speech. Anyway, as I was saying before I got interrupted by freaking Viking fucking pedo terrorist. Anyway, as I was saying, I've solved a lot of crime that Jean has committed using December 24th and December 25th as a theme. Okay, so anyway, it's like her favored, like, you know how like her predecessors do things different and then she wants to Annie Oakley, anything you can do, I can do better. Like they use symphony dinners. Okay, she likes to use morning time. She likes breakfast. Because she wants her little Alice in Wonderland plot. So she wants everything treatsy and sweetsy. Okay? And just sugary, goody, goody, gumdrop goodness. And their favorite time was the evening, like dinner time. She likes everything happening in the morning. She likes murder and mayhem in the morning. Likes to murder and commit mayhem in the morning. It's her freaking theme. So anyway, so Nyx is in there. She's using Saint Nyx from Stevie Nicks' name. Also, Walrus is in there. I Am the Walrus. Alice in Wonderland is in there. Also in here is arsenic, which means there's probably a lot more poison in here. And then, like I said, Wisconsin, and then Carollo is in this. And then later, Zero candy bar comes out. And then it looks like she's trying to say Nicaragua ice in it. It is not Nicaragua. She was planning to do the Iran hostage crisis, is what she was planning to do, which is why she's trying to warp in loosely Nicaragua in here. So anyway, so Terry Nichols is in here. Okay, so here's something else that she did. So Timothy McVeigh. So McVeigh rhymes with play. So me going, can Megan go out? Can Megan come out to play? Can Megan come out to play? So Timothy McVeigh. So you have a combination of the letters V and P and L. Now I'm skipping past the present day anagram that everybody uses that Jean just eats the freaking shit out of. She's always like messing with me. You know what a VPL is. So anyway, so Zeal, she's bragging about getting away with committing terrorism. And everything you just said she's been freaking doing. So anyway, which is committing terrorism and trafficking and stalking and child abusing. So anyway, so VPLN is in there. So that also, it says V plan. Then it also has napalm in it. It also has plane in it. So there's Vietnam reference in it. And then Oklahoma City bombing is in that because you can see she's using the V as the two towers. You know how she uses the X as the two towers crushing? So that tells you there's more to this because this is part of she's using the V as part of the X, but it's showing the two towers crashing. And you can see by the way the letter V is, that's the shape of the Oklahoma City bombing. She was strategic in how she went about doing what she did when she did the Oklahoma City bombing. How it was hit was on purpose. So you can see that in the shape there. She's using a V shape. So anyway, this also goes, so remember I was telling you about the Rolos and everything else? Okay, so then later comes out, gets marketed Zero candy bar. And then also somebody said, oh my God, because Carolla is in here. And then somebody said, oh my God, Adam Carolla, who used to be on MTV. Okay, so you remember the TV show Adam 12? Okay, but the child that she kidnapped from the host of America's Most Wanted, his son's name was Adam. Okay, so see, Jean's running a racket. She wants to run off and save the kids that she's been killing and trafficking. Okay, so I'm trying to get through this. and make these reports, I'm just like, I've got people talking through me. You can hear the triteness in my voice, but I'm just trying to get through this, making this recording to make you guys very aware of what a criminal Gene is. So this also goes to the Fort Bragg shooting. Okay, because Jeffrey MacDonald connects to Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay, so Jeffrey MacDonald the crime was in 1970. He was convicted in 1979. And then Jeffrey Dahmer started killing and committing crime in 1978. And these two look alike. And Jeffrey Dahmer is Gene's brother. 1978 all the way to 1991. So that is the end of this recording.